Good morning. I'm sitting at a parking lot in Halifax. Not much scenery right here. Scenery down the road though. Um, this parking lot is annoying. It's the closest to where my brother lives, but I'm. It's annoying. At 6 o'clock last night, the parking expires for the day, and then you got to come back, and then you got to pay for it overnight, and then to 8 o'clock. So I come up here just previous to 8. It's just maybe a couple of minutes too, but about 5 minutes ago I went over and tried to pay for it, and it was basically charging me $6 for 1 minute because it was like 7:52 is when I was inserting it. 7:53 it showed an expiry date. That's messed up. So what this means is 8 o'clock every morning I gotta basically be here, wait for that to switch over to past 8 o'clock, and then pay for the day. And then the same thing in the evening at 6 o'clock I gotta come out and pay for it. And I think it's good all weekend, if I'm not mistaken though. Like once I pay, it's to a certain time, probably Sunday at 6 p.m. or I don't know, Monday morning at 6 a.m. I don't know. Just some of these silly little things you got to put up with. But for me, I'm also looking at it as I'm optimistic all the way. Things kind of, but then again, I always look at it going forward. That's a schedule. Be here at this time, so that's a little bit of good training and conditioning, so that's why I'm going to chalk it up. Just trying to relax a little, trying to decide what works best for me, and I did cancel malls. I canceled Truro tomorrow. I canceled Highland Square. And I want to get the most out over the last week because the time is so valuable to me at this point. It's just to try, and I mean, malls are a great avenue by and far. I'd like to take kind of a week here to do a lot of last minute writing, last minute awareness, hit some of the other places, secure places to stay, get prepared for down the road. I suppose at a mall I could do some of that with the internet and there, so I might be utilizing my time. But I think at this point a lot more comfortable just to, in the morning or towards the evening when I come back, and in this case it's going to be towards the evening, into the afternoon where I can email folks. But it's just a matter of getting out here in Halifax, basically the largest city in Atlantic Canada, between Halifax, Dartmouth, and just be seen, be noticed, be out there is probably going to have more of an effect than anything else I could do, than isolating myself in a mall. At least there's going to be people that will stop me and they're going to ask, and it's still part of the recognition. I'm not into the heavy donation, looking for donations big time right now. It's just letting people be aware, and hopefully later up the road they'll go, okay, well, yeah, I will donate to this guy. Now that I know what he's all about. Right now it's just a matter of getting people to know what I'm all about. So what I'm all about. Getting up, getting in the morning, getting crazy. Getting crazy right early. But no, to show that movement is really the most significant thing. That's where I want to take the lead. But, so far, I did post. I have raised, without, like I say, aggressive. There's no aggression to, you know what I mean? Do you want to donate? Come on, donate, man. Let's do it. Come on, man. Don't you like kids? Don't you like kids? Huh? What's wrong with you? You don't like kids? Why wouldn't you put a kid through camp? Just for $5. You know, like, do I want to be that way? No. But I certainly want the message to encourage mobility for all. And, you know, it's tough to move through life sometimes with disabilities or illnesses and stuff. And as I know, that's the case. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough for me, you know. But I've turned it into that normal routine. And I mean, you're looking at, it's tough to say I'm disabled by so much of the ability I've expressed. But certainly you can look amongst other people and see their disabilities, and some of them not so obvious. You know, a person walking down the street, they have a mental illness, an illness, a disorder, maybe even a disease, and it's tough to see, it's tough to judge. And I think I've lately just, sorry, I'm trying to, without blocking it, my arm's getting tired, but just without, you just don't know. Like, I mean, I myself think I'm pretty stable as it is, and probably more stable just looking at recent events that would probably shake a person down to their knees. By just looking at other people's actions, you start to question things about you know, how to really judge, and sometimes you just can't, and that those illnesses come out. And I mean, even I'm looking at this run too, and you know, hopefully, because that is what I look at it. I do really look at it this way. It's, you know, if you take developmental, you know, and that word, and take develop out of it, then you get mental, right? So if you put develop back into it, you know, I think it starts to become obvious that the real issue with people in that situation, maybe I'm getting a little off track, but maybe not. It's another disability that I want to talk about, not the physical disability, but sometimes the mental disability. And then I'm going to try to weave it back in here. But, you know, these developmental issues is what we're facing. And I think more than ever, that's what's causing a severity of problems, you know. And I've definitely seen it recently, where a developmental problem has bubbled over and consumed. Those who are even developed properly are kind of shaken by it, you know. Their own form is being in question. So, you know, that's kind of hard. So I'm still, you know, hard pressed to get out there and I guess myself, you know, I've overdeveloped, you know, 26,000 kilometers, walked, took 15 million steps, biked and caused the wheels of my bike to go around 7 million times each tire. The moment I think I find myself in another place. You'll never know as much as a person you don't know anything about. If you hang your head at your failings, you'll never see success on the horizon. And all of these are kind of key words and in that pathway to development. And be it, you know, mental development, that's what people keep saying, it's mind over matter. Like, when people look at me, they go, you know, you got to have a strong mind to do this. You have to kind of go, I can do this, I will do this, and it's accomplished. And to the most part, they're correct. But there is a connection between the mind and the body and the spirit that gets people through. But I mean, they do often ask me why and what's the cause, and I say it's the because you can, because you're able to find your ability, because you find yourself capable. And that's, to me, the greatest struggle for me is not necessarily my personal struggles. It's the struggle to try to help people develop along and help them achieve what they want. Hopefully not having them handicap me or try to trip me up. But I'm pretty strong, and most of the time I can see things coming. But sometimes, boy, you don't know, and something wallops you. So you got to make some serious adjustments. But that's the back and forth of it, and always look to become stronger. Always find a way to develop through it. And I mean, an old friend of mine's talked about obstacles. You can go over them, under them, around them, or through them. Obstacles. But in developing, it's kind of the same thing. Develop wherever you can around this obstacle. I guess that movement is causing a development. To develop. But anyways, maybe I'm rambling on too much, and I should just go pay for the parking here and get out and get moving, because the more you move, the more you move others. And I got a week to develop this to its fullest, and then onward, which it's a bit nerving. I got basically 8 hours 50 minutes, or not 8 hours, sorry, 8 days 50 minutes before I'll be setting out. And that means by that time this van I won't be using. I'm going to be left with right here, this. And part of the conditioning is that development to reduce the impact of the issues that are going to come up. So, and that's developing, becoming stronger, conditioning, getting used to things, even putting yourself into situations that may occur. I'm trying to think of examples that, even just putting myself out into the minus 30s, minus 30 wind chill, going 29 kilometers a day for 10 days through winter weather. But that's part of the development and the insurance. And I think a lot of people, they're so afraid to fail at something because they say, I'm not able to do it. But push yourself to see how far you can go. And, so what if I would have went to Banff? And that was my only plan, was to go to Banff and then kind of drive back. And the way things were developing along there with, free pizza, somebody giving me a pocket full of burgers, free coffee here and there, and even a chocolate milk. The RCMP supporting me along the way up the road. A free meal at Wild Bill's. These are the things that developed and assured me that I'm doing okay, between the people and what I needed to basically make it and sustain myself through those cold temperatures. It was assurances, and that's what I'd like to see is, and you can't force a person to do anything, but hopefully you can inspire them to. And inspire them just to go out and try and just develop themselves a little bit more. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that have really big dreams, but it takes little steps, little moments that will lead you to that destination. It's not just one step. And the same thing, like 15 million steps to get to 11,000, as I'm looking at it, 11,421 kilometers. You know, take 1 million kilometers out of there, or take a million steps out of there. I haven't gone that distance. You know, the bike ride from Calgary. You know, you again stop those wheels, stop them 1,000 times, and I'm not quite at my destination. So it does take this, and I think, you know, that's what this mission's about. That's what I'm out to do, is to just show people, like, you know, just try. And maybe you won't go to that destination. Maybe you're heading down that pathway, but maybe you'll find another pathway that takes you even further than you ever imagined you would go. You know, but it is a matter of getting out. I've seen it, you know, by the people I've met. Things aren't happening unless I move. You know, hanging out with the mayor. I mean, these are examples. I'm going to ramble because it's a beautiful little morning. I'm in Halifax, capital of Nova Scotia and the largest city in the Maritimes. But, you know, if I reflect, I just hung out with the mayor in Glasgow. I got an award as an inspiration award, and it's for them. It wasn't my words or anything like that. It was just basically those actions. When they look at 26,000 kilometers and a guy that wants to run across Canada, and he wants to enter the Johnny Miles Marathon. The Johnny Miles group said, here's a local guy born in Pictou County. Let's give him a little something. You know, maybe we can inspire him, and apparently I inspired them enough to give me the award. But that wouldn't have happened if I just didn't participate. That's all I got to do. I'm going to have to talk about participation here, that big glorious word that I also believe in. Participation, yeah. A great invention, a Canadian invention, a great word. But you have to participate to get that action, I guess. And you know, that I sat my butt down. They said, sit anywhere, Trevor. I sat. At that time, there was an opening in the front that just happened to be beside the mayor of New Glasgow. So I sat beside Nancy, and before too long, she was my chaperone, just basically introducing me to everyone that was there, and which was neat. But, you know, that's participating, that's taking part. When I look at, say, me going down to see the mayor of Calgary with Rick Hansen, it was an opportunity that came up because of me engaging and participating and helping people out, helping out the Rick Hansen Foundation, and, you know, for that, a little bit of a reward for that, you know, just putting yourself in there. And I got to spend basically a whole day with it, and that was glorious, you know. Or back to my 29 kilometer a day, 290 kilometers in 10 days through the sub-freezing temperatures that Canada can offer. I met a fellow named Tim. Tim said, hey, I'd like to have you come to our school and talk, which reminds me, that's something I want to give these guys an update before I leave. The schools that I have gone to. But Tim invited me in, and next thing you know, I'm speaking, and I was speaking there at the Terry Fox Junior High as a Rick Hansen ambassador, you know. And it is just a matter of just participating and you know, doing the positive things, and, you know, trying to build people up, you know, never tearing someone down. But that's how you do things. Anyways, that's 20 minutes of my rambling. I'm gonna go put some change in the canister over there, and so I can let my van sit here for a while as I go for a run, and then come back and do my administrative stuff, because it is, you know, it's not all about the run. It's again down to letting people know that I'm doing it, and so I got to participate, not in just, you know, running down the street, but send out some emails, do some research basically on what's out there, what my possibilities are, and you know, expand on those possibilities. You know, let's see what events are coming up. Let's see if that organizer of the event would like me to participate, and if they will, you know, if it inspires people by joining, you know, like some of these walks, some of these runs that I was in, just to see the kilometers that I've done, people go, wow. And I mean, it gives them a little charge of what their possibilities are. And then once people find out that I have a bad leg, they keep that in their psyche. They're like, well, if he could do it with a bad leg, then what am I capable of? And two, anybody that does have injuries, they'll go, well, where are my barriers? How do I push back those walls? You know, so anyways, 8 days, 40 minutes. And I want to start adding some more right here. Start adding up those kilometers. Anyways, I'm going to say it again. The more we move others. There and back. How far will you go to help someone? Well, there and back. Where's that? Well, that's the ends of the earth and back. And the earth in Canada, well, it's in between our oceans. Cheers, folks.